Today you're gonna join me in prepping my face, like washing my face and putting makeup. Yeah, maybe I can take some pictures when I go outside, when we go out. So I I use this, yeah, for it's actually a good face wash. So yeah, let's get into it. So today, let's talk about this. Like I said, my one more welcome to today's diary session. So there's this thing that most people, there's this what do you call that? Common sense, something that you expect people to just have, like, common sense. You expect everybody to have common sense, but it seems that like everybody seems to have a problem with this particular common sense. The thing is that the thing is that when we are born, nobody, like when I was born, I was not born with a book in my hands. I was not born with this book, like a book of uh, decisions, choices, a book of life, rather. The do's, the don'ts, the guidelines, and everything. No, I was not born with that book. I don't know about others, but I think it's the same. Nobody's born with that book. So I don't I don't understand why people expect you to behave a certain way to suit their own expectations or to suit their own understandings of how to live or about life. So here's the thing. You are your own life author. When you are born into this world, you are your own life author. You are in charge of creating a life of your own choices, a life of your own decisions, a life based on you, and not a life based on other people's expectations or based on other people's ways of understanding of life, or other people's problems, rather. So make your own decisions, make your own choices, like pave your own way, live life how you think and how you want to live it. Do not live life because another person wants you to live it a certain way. That's the thing. Like I really have a problem with people wanting other people to do things as they did them, or as they want them to. Be your own person, live life how you want to live it, do things how you want to do them. I mean, allow yourself to make mistakes. That has always been one of the things that has driven me to doing things here, things there. Like, I should allow myself to make mistakes. This thing of being too careful, watching every step, of course, look before you leap. Watching every step you take, being super careful, in the end you miss out on life itself, because you do not want to do this because another person who did it, their results were horrible, they had bad results, so you do not want to do it because you think that you're going to have the same results as that person, when initially certain things do not work for other people because they simply did not work. But if you try them, they work out. If you try the same things that other people did, they end up working out for you. So there's no point in choosing not to do things because other people failed in those areas. You see my point? Let's take, for example, school. Some have failed at school, like university, they're university dropouts and all that stuff. There are people that have not managed to graduate, and people, like, there are things that other people have not managed to do, but other people have managed to excel in them. So there's no point in limiting oneself because certain things did not work out for other people. You see, you get my point? Like, it don't make any sense. You need to live life as you expect to live. Do not live your life based on other people's disappointments, that, oh, what will they think? They'll think that I'm this, I'm that, and all that stuff. I think I can't do this, I can't do that. If you have the power you have the power to stop yourself from doing something, and you also have the power to tell yourself, to talk yourself into doing something that you thought you couldn't do, but you can actually do. So you have the strength, you have the power, you have the necessity of being whoever you want to be, being whatever you want to be, experiencing things that you want to experience. Stop looking, right, left, everywhere, center, up, down, before you can take a step. Stop looking around. Like, do not look around. Who is looking at me? What will they think of me? What will they do this and all that stuff if I do this? No. Forget about the world. Just be you, do you, and take those steps that you want to take in this life, and simply live. Just live your life. L-I-V-E. Just live your life. Expectations always lead to disappointments. And remember, when you expect yourself to do something, it's easier for you to work on it. But the thing about the society's expectations, they will never be met. Those expectations will never be met because what another society expects is different from what another society expects. And these are all people, like different things. These will expect you to take the step. These will expect you not to take the step. So either way, 50-50, whether you take the step or you don't take the step, there is a group of people, or there is a certain society that will still be displeased. So in this case, think of you and simply do you. Okay, so now I'm going to wash my face before we can continue. Yeah, so my face is washed now already, and because I have a dry skin, I usually use this Rich Body Balm with shea butter. Yeah, I use this, like it works for me for dry skin anyway. So like we were talking, be your own person, do you all the time, and I think you'll never be disappointed. You will only disappoint yourself, but not disappoint others. It's a lot of pressure thinking about, I don't want to disappoint this one, that one. I don't want to disappoint this and that and that and that. That pressure is too much. I would rather have pressure of myself, when I would rather have pressure about things that have to do with me, and not have pressure over things that have to do with other people, like what they think of me. That kind of pressure is not healthy. That kind of pressure is not healthy at all. Okay, so let's go into a little bit of a story. So now I'll start putting my makeup, and right now I'm using this Essence serum. Yeah, I'm using this. So let's go into a little bit of a story. So here's the thing. When I was growing up, I constantly had to, so this is where my camera is and this is where my mirror is, so I'll constantly be turning this way and this way. So growing up, I had a stepmother. So I've never really been a person that believes in that term, stepmother. So a stepmother is simply a person who your father marries and they become your mother, but not your biological mother, so they just become your stepmother. Yeah. So for me, I don't believe in that. A quick disclaimer, I don't believe in those words. For me, I believe that families that are blended, by blended I mean families that have a stepmother or a stepfather, stepchildren, all this step stuff going on, I do not believe in the word step. So for me, those families that are blended in that way, for me, I call them bonus family members. Like for example, mother, that's a bonus, pardon me, that's a bonus mother. And the children, they're not stepchildren, those are bonus children. And the father is simply a bonus father. So I do not believe in this thing of step, because usually this word has been connected to bad things, like a stepfather, a stepmother is usually a bad person, they mistreat the stepchildren and all that stuff. Like that's the African perspective, African background. And that I have a backstory. I know why I'm saying that it's like an African understanding or an African kind of rooted understanding. Okay, so the serum is in, and when I do that, so before I came to Europe, I used this Sleek. This was my foundation. This is what I've always used. Yeah, but then all the Sleek foundations I had from the time I came, this is like the last one, and it's getting empty, and I had gone looking for it in all the stores, all the makeup stores, but I could not find this particular shade, or like this exact one. Yeah, I couldn't find it, but I found something that was close to this, but not this one exactly. So anyways, this is something that I found, which is like, but you see, like they're still different. This one is like, this one is a little bit, but anyway, this is the one that I'm using for now. So yeah, so growing up, I had a stepmother, and so for my foundation, I used this one. So growing up, I had a stepmother, and my stepmother, I had like two stepmothers. The first stepmother is the one that my father married after my biological mother. Then after years of marriage, they divorced. Then he married another woman who is the one I'm going to talk about now. This lady was just in a whole different, I don't know, different world or whatever. Yeah, like a whole different world. For me, it was just crazy with her. So there's this one particular instance I want to talk about. So there was one time when I was preparing myself to go to church, because I grew up in a home where we went to church like every Saturday. We went to church. So I grew up in that house, in a home like that, where we went to church like every Saturday. We went to church. And so when that day would come, you know, you get ready and all that stuff, you go to church. Then on Sundays we had something, a youth activities that used to take place on Sunday. So you still go to church on Sunday in the afternoons, of course. So okay, so I have to check on something. I'll be back. Wow, that was a long break actually. So what was I saying? So yeah, there was one, like I said, we would go to church. Saturday we would go to church, Sunday afternoon we would go to church, and so on. So here's the thing. I never had all the, you know, church shoes that other people had, you know, like all these shoes, whatever you can think of. I didn't have all those kind of shoes. Most times I just had one pair of shoe which I would like wear all the time. So it would usually get spoiled, or it would be, you know, like a bad shoe and all that stuff. So I needed like another pair of shoe, but I couldn't get a new pair of shoe. Not that my father could not afford, or not that they could not afford. They could afford, but this lady chose just not to buy anything for us or for me or for. She just chose not to do nothing. Chose to do nothing about it. So I was like, cool. Anyway, if I need a pair of shoes and I need to go to church, I'll need to find something in the house that I'm going to wear, you know. So here's the thing. She one I think that was, I don't remember whether it was on a Saturday or it was on a Sunday, but one time when I had to go to church, I had to wear these slippers that belonged to her, you know. They were just there. She didn't really wear them, so I was like, okay, since these shoes they've been abandoned already, like, why not? Why don't I wear them? So I decided to wear them to church, and I didn't think like much about it. It was not so much of a big deal, you know. It's just a pair of odd slippers that I'm wearing to church, so it's not a big deal if I'm wearing them or not. So anyway, I'll put them back there. So let me just go to church. So I went to church, you know, all happy as a kid and all that stuff. I was not so much of a kid, but yes, I was a child. So I went to church. I had my time. I enjoyed myself. Then I went back home. So when I went back home, she actually had realized that I had worn her slippers. She actually realized that I had worn her slippers, and she was mad, like super mad. She was mad at the fact that I had worn her slippers. She called me disrespectful. She called me all names you can think of. She was so upset. She used she used vulgar language. She used bad language. She just cursed me out like I was stupid. How would I wear her? How could I wear her slippers? Who am I? Like, why would I do that? I'm so disrespectful. She said I disrespected her and I was so disrespectful, and that I should never touch her stuff. I shouldn't be wearing elder people's, big people's shoes, you know. Like, no, don't wear. She was just mad. So I was like, okay, I'm sorry. I won't wear shoes no more, but it's because I don't have shoes, and so I just saw these laying around and I wore them. So the thing with me is that I don't know. I didn't learn. I didn't learn. That lesson did not teach me. It taught me something, but for some reason it didn't, like I didn't learn. So then some other time I went to visit my auntie. I went to visit my uncle because I was related to the man. So I went to visit my uncle and his wife. So when I went to visit my uncle and his wife, the same problem occurred where I had to go to church. I had to go to church, but I had not I did not have. I still had the shoe problem. So what happened was, I prepared myself to go to church, and because they had already left for church, I was like, okay, it's not so much of a big deal. So let me prepare myself, and I'm going to join them too. So I prepared myself, and there were these slippers that were like behind their door, and my auntie would never wear them. She said they were too small, they were too tiny, and like she was done with the shoes. She was basically just going to give them to somebody. Yeah, she was basically going to give them to somebody, but I have no idea what she was going to do with the shoes, whether she was going to throw them or like get rid of them, give them to somebody, maybe a relative of hers. I have no idea what she was going to do with them. But yeah, I have no idea what she was going to do with them. And also, when you're putting foundation, remember to put below here. Remember to put down here like that, so that your face can blend with your neck. You know, you don't want to have like a different complexion on your face, and the rest of your body looks different. So remember to, when you put foundation, remember to also dab foundation below here below your chin and around your neck there. Yeah, so the same thing, I didn't learn, like I said earlier, it's like I didn't learn these things. So I prepare myself and I get these shoes. I'm like, oh, my auntie does not wear them. She does not even fit them. So let me wear them and I'll put them back when I come back from church. So I wear them and I go to church. And when I go back home, I find my auntie and she realizes that I had actually worn her slippers. She suddenly changed, like, you know, somebody who was happy, like, then they just changed to, like, their face just changed from being happy to being sad. So I was like, okay, I didn't understand what happened. But anyways, at that moment, I didn't think I had done anything wrong. So I just was like, oh, cool. So I get home, I start preparing dinner, I cook, we ate, the day was over. The next day, you know, you wake up in an African household, you wake up in the morning, you do chores, you do dishes, you prepare breakfast, you serve, all these things. So I did all these things, and usually in the morning when I'm doing those things, me and my auntie would be chatting, you know, but that day she was not really talking to me, she was not really chatting. Then as I was sweeping, cleaning where the shoes were, moving the sofas, just cleaning everywhere around, dusting the area and all that stuff. And when I was cleaning the shoe area, then she said something to me. She was like, so I now understand what your mother was saying. By your mother, she meant my stepmother. She was like, I now understand what your mother was saying, that you like to wear her things, which is so disrespectful. Why would you do that? You're not supposed to wear elder people's things. And so now you did it to your mother, now you've done it to me. You've worn my slippers and all these things. I put them there and you just stay to get them and wear them and put them back like nothing happened. And I was so surprised in the moment. I was like, wait a minute, what happened? Then she was like, yeah, I now understand why you don't get along with your mother, because instead of wearing your own things, you're busy wearing, instead of wearing your own things, you're busy wearing big people's things. This is so disrespectful. Shouldn't do this and all that. It blew off like so quick. It just blew off from nowhere. I did not understand what happened. So then I was like, wait, is this why she has been upset or looking all, you know, with me all this time from yesterday? So I was like, okay, I'm really sorry. I did not mean to disrespectful or to insult you by wearing your slippers. I simply wore them because you said they were too big. I mean, that you were not fitting them anymore and that you were giving them away to somebody, and I didn't have anything to wear to church, so I didn't think you would mind, but I now know that you mind. I won't wear the things. No. That day I felt so bad. I can tell you that I really felt bad. Like, why are people so much invested in these things to a point where they can use bad words and insult you and curse you for such a thing as this? Like, it was just surprising. But anyways, I chose to learn my lesson. I was like, I've learned I'm never wearing anything that belongs to somebody else, whether they've thrown it away, whether it is at the bin and what I'm never getting anything that is not mine. So I learned my lesson. But then today, the reason why I'm talking about this now is that something reminded me of that today. Yeah. So okay. So why I'm talking about this, something reminded me of that today. My bonus daughter came through and we were in the room chatting and just having a good time. Then, because we have a baby and sometimes she just takes out our shoes and they're just lying around, whether you put them back to like in a proper way that they should be, she'll just put them wherever, she'll just scatter them around. So then my bonus daughter decided to get the shoe, like a pair of my heels, and she put them on and they looked so cute. Of course they're big because I mean I'm a size 7, so yeah, they're big. So she wore them and she was like saying how big she looks and how tall she is, and it was so cute. I loved it. In that moment, it made me feel so happy. Like I was like, oh, she sees me as her friend, like she's comfortable with me, because if she was not comfortable with me, she would not do that. Like it makes me happy. And other times when my bonus daughter comes through and she wants something to wear, of course she has clothes here, but then sometimes when she comes through, she's getting bigger. She's getting bigger, and so some clothes have become small. So what do? She wears my stuff, and I love it. Like I love every bit of it. It's super amazing. So now, thinking about it, how is it that how is it that these people, how is it that these people that that I had worn shoes for before in the past, such as an auntie or a bonus mother, would, like, why would they feel so bad that a child would wear something that belongs to them? Like, I find it really hard to understand. Like, I find it really hard to understand. So anyways, that was just a short story from the past combined with the present and so on. So far this is the makeup I've done, and from here I do my eyebrows. Yeah, but yeah, I cannot really see here, so I'll need to get because once I move closer to this mirror here, then it means you won't see me. So I need to get a smaller mirror. So see you coming. Okay, so that's what I do first when I do my eyebrows. You see, I just make lines there, then from there I mean, this is what I do with my eyebrows. I don't know, whatever works for you works for you. This works for me. So after I do that, then I get my brush. I don't know which brush is for. By the way, let me mention, makeup artists, take a seat. Makeup experts, take a seat. This is just me being basic and doing what I know. I've no I did not study anything that has to do with makeup, whatever. I have simply learned from watching other people do it, and so this is me. Yeah. So it's not. So from then I brush. I brush both sides. Yeah, I brush. I like my eyebrows to be like medium, not too small and not too big. So this is what I do. I mean, there's many ways to draw your makeup, to do your makeup, like to draw your eyebrows. Actually, there are many ways to draw your eyebrows, but for me, this is what I choose. Yeah, this is the method I choose. Yep. Method I choose. What's next? Oh, now we use powder. So now we use powder when we're done with everything, all the wet stuff we put on the face. So now yeah, so that's what happened to me. Those are some of the things that just happened to me. Like, it's quite a funny it's quite a funny thing to remember now. So now we just brush. Yeah, so this is what I do with my makeup. This is what I do. Then from here I can put lashes, but I want to put lashes on the video. Yeah, because I won't just put lashes on the video. Yeah, I'll put them later. So here this is done, and I normally like to use you know, when you put blush, you can put pink blush, sometimes orange works. Yeah, orange works as well. And for me, I use this. This was a gift from a friend of mine, from Priscilla. Really, I love this palette. This palette is amazing. This palette is amazing. I got it from my friend Priscilla. She gave it to me. It has got amazing colors, like checker, like really amazing colors. I love this palette. Priscilla, thank you. I love this palette. So you know that shimmering you put on the nose and just here above the lips, I like to use this one here, this color here. So put this one here. Yeah, like that. Then on the nose too, just here. Yeah, so you see, yeah, like that. Then we get another brush so that we can put blush. So like I said, you can either put orange here, or you can put something reddish, or you can put like a pink one. But you can also put the dark colors, purple and all that stuff. Like blush is up to you. Like for me, I think it's up to you to decide what kind of blush you want to use. So for me, I like to use this one. Sometimes I use this one. As you can see, it's the most used one. It's almost the color of powder, but this one is like a little bit lighter. So I go there. You won't really see much of a difference, but then it gives like an even complexion. So I like it. Yeah. And I was going to put mascara, but my mascara is missing. My daughter was using it, not using, she was chewing. You know, she's like 11 months, so she was chewing on it, but I don't know where it is. I have no idea. I've looked, I'm still looking for it. I can't find it. I would have put the mascara right now, but then I won't do that because I don't know where it is. I'm still looking for it. Then eyelashes. So if you're putting lashes, this is the point when you can put lashes. And when you're done with lashes, then you can get the set spray and you can spray. For me, I'm not putting set spray because I want it to be dry like this, because usually when you put a set spray, it means at least it should be hot, but right now it's like cold and there's no need to put a set spray because it's already moist. I must say, like it's a wet kind of weather. We have wet temperatures right now, so it's fall and all that. But then in summer you can actually put like a set spray so that you can have that shimmering and all that. So today it has been me from T Diaries. Thank you for joining me. See you in the next video. Remember to be kind, make good choices, and be careful out there. Love ya.